Welcome everybody to the Windrunner channel. Today we'll be doing the next M2 solo, and this time we'll be focusing on Europa. So this guide is meant to focus on the first requirement for doing the skippable, and I'm expecting this to be a new player guide as well. So yeah, with that said, this is the team that I have come up with. Problem with Earth is that a lot of the Earth units are limited, so by nature you're going to have a very difficult time trying to get it to form a team. Right, so over here I have everyone non-limited, I believe. So if you have limited characters like Summer, Elixir and whatnot, it's going to be very easy. Generally speaking, Europa is not difficult, but it's annoying. The main concept of Europa is that she has a few attacks. Most of them are debuff attacks. Unlike the DOT debuff, this one, however, is the ability to heal Europa whenever you attack her. She has those kind of debuffs, as well as like usually just casual normal debuffs and just very normal M2 damage per se. They are not the high hitting ones. So throughout the raid, as long as you have some form of healing, for this case specifically Satire is healing the debuff as well as healing the damage dealt, as well as Lucifer 250 from the friend summons. You should be able to go through this relatively easily. If you however have a friend, you have your own Lucy at 250, which if you do, I don't think you'll be looking at this guy because you'll be farming sense at the bottom rate of there. You should be able to do it anyway without like just double Lucy. Right? So this guide is mostly focused on the Magna player side. Now, as you know, usually Magna, you want to transition to Camelander very soon, but I'm not using a Camelander grid for this specific case. For this specific case, I'm just using a mix of whatever weapons you should have gotten up to this point in your journey, right? I am using a full M2 grid though, because I'm using 3 Elixir X's, but if you do not have the third Elixir X, you can change for the Rising of the Beast X, and it will drop your critical, I think, to 60 or 70. You won't have 60, yeah. You'll drop it to 60 something, which is still okay, but yeah. Crit, however, is still not consistent unless you double Yggdrasil. But on this grid, firstly you do a character check. Basically, the character check requires you to have one Satire. If you don't have Satire, most raids will be difficult normally. But for this raid, Satire counters 2 to 3 aspects of the raid. One, hard hitting. Because she draw aggro, she can actually have high defense and she will tank a lot of stuff. She auto heals and cut debuffs, which also counteracts a lot of what this boss can do, right? Since I already went through the most dangerous of what the boss can do, the boss in itself is not dangerous, it's just HP and a lot of debuffs. So if you can deal with the debuffs, you're fine, right? For here, I have Aletheia, which is, I know a lot of people don't have him, but if you have him, just use him. He is really good for DPS. Jin was just a random pick. You could use any of these 3 in the place of Jin. Jin doesn't really do that much other than the dispel upon like countering. He doesn't really do that much, honestly. That's the sad thing, yeah. And he requires Martial Spirit to be quite high to actually dispel, so he's actually not that great. But he was just the additional stuff. A person that you could use with this character is like Nobara. It's just a lot of damage though, so it's like if you do not have the if you don't have Aletheia, you can use her. Don't expect the rate to be fast. Aletheia does super a lot of damage, and my mouse is kind of spoiled, so next one is Herja. If you do not have any form of defense, no like good defense character like Elixir or Satire, you can use Herja if you have her. Herja, however, does not remove everybody's debuff, so you are going to have to carefully substitute wherever the boss is going to basically have the charge bar attack, so make sure you control your charge bar really well on manual if you're going to use her. She isn't a full auto character by any means. I just put her here just because I have no other characters. All my characters are limited. Earth just have limited characters or you go broke, right? It's like Zodiac, Christmas, summer, else you're just not gonna have a good time. Earth is so heavily populated with basically limiteds that if you do not have any limiteds at all, you're gonna get like scrum all the way to this like boulevard basically. So like these two are not that great. The Kek and Sig are not that great in this raid. Honestly, they are not even full auto friendly. If you're manualing, I think they are doable, feasibly used, but not really. Helenessa, I think you need a full like substitute character for her to work properly. Aya is a burst. I think he was upgraded to so that he has a mainstay for holding like long turns raids basically, but I don't recommend Aya. Razia might be able to help, but I never really like, use her, but I think she's okay. But she is, as said, very specific to herself. So like if anybody else get hits, it's permanent damage. All the rest are all grants or like some form of like limited version. I mean, if you have Summon Alex, the game is like, for Earth, most raids are like, it's folded basically, as long as it's like they are doing Earth-based damage. And even if they don't, there's a Earth, what do you call it, Earth switch basically, yeah. So, pretty easy. If you're Kimlander, just use Kimlander, don't follow this grid. Just make your normal Kimlander, like the one that I always use and always use for raids in my old Earth videos. No, Earth, what do you call it? Earth, Guild War? Guild War, yes. I forgot the name, oh no. Yeah, so as you can see, I do not really have a lot of choice in terms of free to use, non-limited, yes. As you can see, this is not scripted, so everything is just trying to be portrayed from what I can just react to. This guy is also not that good, so I don't recommend using this guy against Europa. Likely the raid wouldn't last long enough for you to get Glaciated up to get the boost anyway, so it's like, yeah. Apart from that though, this is I believe a limited as well if I'm not wrong. Or was this original Matrix? Regardless, no it's not original because it's unworthy. So in a lot of the cases, it's really difficult for me to pinpoint how am I supposed to build up a team. But obviously, this is more meant for like people who do not have much. I assume that you will always have some sort of like normal characters. If you have grand characters, you can use those. I think Earth grand characters usually are decently fine. There's Kane, there's Leona. Those are the OG crit busters basically, and they can be used to supplement these two slots basically. The most important one is Satire, and if you don't have Satire, you might want to substitute 2 slots, one for healing and one for cleansing. Specifically debuff cleaning up, debuff removal. Not Veil, not anything else, just debuff removal. Veil, I don't think works properly half the time. I think she is usually faster than your Veil, but for this cleansing, I think usually is faster. Or if you want, you can run with Liatro Mantis, some sort of like auto heal. Doctor probably will also work fine if you're manually, because Doctor has Vaccine. Vaccine is really good for clearing debuffs. And obviously getting a green pot, which if you are surviving, struggling, I think Earth has these decent daggers in the first place, right? Earth daggers are not to be trifled with, I think there was one. No, there is only 2, I think. One of them is the Zircon Edge, which is your progressive RTB weapon, which is not bad, I guess, for that's being the only one. And Arsene, which I'm pretty sure people actually uncap this to the full. So hopefully not using Bars, I think using Cubes, and then you get a good... Ideally, Arsene has a good charge attack once at 4 stars, so yes. Other than that, okay, apparently Earth doesn't have a lot of daggers, maybe according to, but they had a lot of stuff. Because I didn't really per se think of like staff users. There is stuff, but it's not great, huh? Okay. Proving Ground and Beast weapons are probably the only two ones you want to use. Proving Ground probably more than likely, but yeah. If you have Dawn Rising, you can use it, I guess. Make sure it's 4-star though. This is the most random one. I just leveled it up because I wanted to see how this occasionally stacked 2 to 8 times a duel. Don't expect much, Don't expect much of this weapon. This is a meme weapon in RNG weapons, so don't expect consistency in such a weapon. But for me, I use Sword because I know this one has Water Switch. I mean, yeah, basically it has combat damage taken to water damage and boost to earth attack, so it's a pretty good one. And he has supplemental damage upon taking damage, which is really good. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen in my inventory of characters that I do have this specific character known as, where is the guy? He is the old man, the Oyaji, the one who sings Soile a lot. And it's called Soris. I don't use him, but if you want, you can use him. He's really good. However, I want to say that if you use him without skill supplemental, he's still fine. But however, he can also, if he gets debuffed by Europa, he will chain heal a lot on Europa, which will slow your turn by 4 turns. Essentially, he does that much damage on unlucky round when he uses Macho. So you might want to be careful about it. He does a lot of damage though if you can keep him safe from the debuff, which I have done a few times. It hurts quite a lot. Backstabbing anyway. For weapon grids, I said this is M2. And if you're Kimlander, use Kimlander. If not, this is just a very generic one. We have like 3 M2, 1 7-fig weapon, 1 progressive, OTB, 1 HP for Niblick. This is mostly for HP. And obviously it gives Might 2. I just put an M2 sword here, but if you want, you can go for 4th X, or you can go for the OTB Rising of the Beast, the spear for critical. Either way is fine. Dagger of Bahamut, if you have been looking at the previous guide, watching the previous guide, is the same. I'm also using Draconic to make sure that at least it's easily accessible. That is the main part of the guide. Most of the stuff are easily accessible and easily farmable in the early stages. Even with the expectation that people are not going to join your raid as much, or they'll wait 15 minutes, 30, 20 minutes to join your raid, which you will eventually have a person join your raid and clear it for you because people want to farm FP. Don't be worried, right? And obviously, yeah, that's all I have for this. And for main summons, it's the same old grid. However, if you do have a SSR Hangman, I do recommend this to be put over here rather than Chilin. And you can manual if you want over that, or you can put this way over CC, and CC, because this Hangman can actually cleanse for you. It removes 1 debuff from all allies, which is very, very nice for this raid particularly. So if you want, you can actually even call this as the main quick summon, basically call, and you can do it so that whenever you just happen to have a nice debuff landed on you, he can help you cleanse. If you do not have any kind of like auto cleansing, this is a very good auto cleansing. Nobilio, however, is still very important. I still think that if you can use Nobilio, because restore HP, 20% boost to charge bar, and shield and refresh, is all really good for surviving. But as far as I'm concerned, I didn't see my HP drop too much, but just because I'm using Satire. So it's really up to you. I think if you do not have a lot of defensive option, I highly recommend you manual for this one. It's not difficult though, in terms of most cases, it's just draggy. So yeah, this is actually one of the easiest raid in M2. Especially considering that Earth is actually the best for Kimlander. You can probably put one of those Highlander grids and just start with that basically. I think it should be fine. As long as you have all of this like properly leveled to 150. Highlander grid probably will work with the skill 15 stuff. Yeah, skill 15, skill 20. Just make sure. you know how Highlander works. I did not know how Highlander works for the longest time. It doesn't mean one of each type of weapon. It's just one weapon of that. Of it is allowed. So basically, I only can have one Niblick Kong. I cannot have another Niblick Kong basically. So it's like that's how Highlander works. So basically, just unique weapons. Doesn't need to be unique types. Very easily to be messed up with it. I'm always at the start of the time I was learning about Highlander. It always brain screw me because I always thought it's one of each type. So I was finding every single type of weapon, whereas just every single weapon is unique. That's just why it's just record of you. So that's how you're gonna use a Highlander. Camelander is the same thing, just put Came in the back and you'll be fine. With that said though, I think there's nothing much to say about this guy for Europa. Europa is the easiest of the bunch if I'm pretty honest. Even with like my crap ton worth of like characters, I finished the raid in I think 12 minutes. Let me pull it up. I think it was 12 minutes, right? I think so. 11 minutes. So it's the fastest raid of all of the above, right? So honestly speaking, if you have trouble with this raid, think about whether it's your grid problem or whether it was your character problem. If you can solve it, if you cannot, you can just comment down below and we'll probably we'll try to get another kind of like viewpoint and maybe help you. And obviously if you're in any of the important discords like Sora discords or whatever discords, you can ping Windrunner. He is basically me. I'm pretty sure I'm in most of the GBF discords on like YouTuber site basically. So yeah, if not, obviously you can obviously like ask people on the Discord forums or in the comment section down below, and probably someone will help you answer you as well. With that said, I think this is the end of this one. This is the shortest, I think, explanation part for a guy like this. Of all the 3-4 guides I've already recorded, this is probably the least stuff to talk about. So yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy it, press the like button down below, and obviously press the subscribe button down below so that whenever I upload the video or I have a stream scheduled or I should just start streaming randomly, you'll be notified, and then press the notification bell below so that whenever I stream randomly, you'll be notified. Haha. And obviously do comment down below to see if this is helpful or if this is not helpful, or you have some questions, you have some doubts, just list it down below, right? With that said, I do hope you have a good time trying to clear all your solo runs. With that said, enjoy your time as a new player, because this is the time, man, where you get a lot of skips. Okay, bye bye for now. Bye bye.